Let's jump into some content and start talking about presentation skills. First up, the most common issues with presentations can be addressed. So I'm going to go through some more common presentation pitfalls. Make sure that you've read your Bly and Bowden articles so far, because they're going to really add a lot more to this conversation, this discussion. So 8 things I wanted to highlight here that are going to be very important both for your presentation here and also your presentations once you head out into the workforce. The first one is failure to speak to time. Now, your presentation during class is going to be 25 to 30 minutes. It's about 4 to 5 of you, so breaking that up, that might be 5 to 6 minutes, maybe a little bit more. So look at what you're trying to say and making sure you speak well to the time. Practice this. Rehearse it, speaking a little faster than you do, a little slower than you do, making sure you got the timer there so you know how long it's going to be taking you. Also, it's always good with presentation mode and PowerPoint to have that timer up there so you can see how you're going. Equipment failure. This is always a tough one. When you walk into any sort of presentation, you're giving a presentation, sometimes equipment can... Oh no. Oh, sorry. We'll get... Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh no, I've lost you. Okay. Sorry, you're back now. Equipment failure. You can have issues with equipment failure. Things might go wrong. That's going to happen. You need to be able to talk through it, get around it, make jokes. That's fine. Happens to everyone. Poor audience analysis. If you're walking into your audience and you're going to start talking about molecular biology, you've got to hope that your audience understands molecular biology, or you're able to get them to that sort of level. Understand your audience, understand what they're interested in, what time of day it is. If it's 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, they probably need a little bit of a wake up, whereas sort of 11 a.m. on a Wednesday, they're ready to go and fresh. Inappropriate pace. So 2 things here. One, you could be talking really quickly and no one will understand what you're going to say. Therefore, a lot of your major points are being lost. At the same time, if you're talking really slowly, people are going to fall asleep. Make sure you pick up a good happy medium there. Distracting mannerisms. You can think of plenty of those that might come up. Disinterested speaker. So when you're talking and you're giving your presentation, there's nothing worse than people looking at cue cards and going, yep, I'm talking about this, and this is the presentation today. Make sure what you're saying is you're interested in what you're saying. Really, one of the things that Bowden talks about is being an expert and wanting to speak on the area. So even though at university sometimes you're going to talk about things that you don't love, bring it around. Give examples that are the sort of things that you're interested in. Inappropriate visual support. So if your presentation slides are taking away from what you're saying, or they're not contributing to what you're saying, that might be an issue there. The other thing is information overload. Think about those lectures where it's nothing but size 12 font, lots of words up on there on the slide. You don't want to give them too much information. You want them to have the main points there, and that's what you need to focus on. Successful presentations are built upon how you look, how you sound, and the materials that you have. So how you look, your appearance. So are you dressed up in a suit or are you dressed down? Making sure that you as a group in week 10 or 11 make a decision around this so that you're all consistent. So are you all going to be in suits and ties? Are you all going to be business casual, or are you all going to be completely casual? Making sure that you're at least consistent. And this is going to depend on the sort of material that you're delivering. Your body language. So this is important when you are speaking, so you're looking engaged, and also when you're not speaking. There's nothing worse than watching a group present and the person who's not presenting is there checking their phone, just not looking interested in anything that person's saying. Eye contact. Remember to have a look at the Bowden article, so there's some really interesting stuff around eye contact there. Your facial expression, your gestures, and the way in which you speak and point. The posture. Are you going to be standing up straight? Are you going to be more relaxed? Are you going to be on the edge of your chair? Are you going to be back? All of those decisions you need to make based on the message you want to get across. How you sound. Volume. Look at the room and look at how your voice travels. Are you going to be able to talk and the whole room's going to hear you? You're going to need a microphone. Also making sure you're not too loud so you're not blowing people away. Making sure that you enunciate your words correctly so people know what you're saying. Pace. This is a really interesting one in how you use it. I like to speed up when I'm talking about something that isn't as important and really slowing down when there's points I want to get across. It means that people are engaged and they know exactly what I'm trying to get across to them. And this also comes down to pitch and inflection. So if every time I'm talking and I'm talking up, then a lot of the time, a lot of what I'm saying is being lost. Instead, try and use your inflections when you're trying to make that important point and bringing it down. So this is the most important point I'm going to make. Make it very clear, use your gestures, use the pace, use your pitch and inflection. The last thing I want to talk about here is visual support. Now there's plenty of material in the articles about PowerPoint and the best way to use that, but I want you to be thinking about models and props, posters and diagrams, tables and graphs, and also handouts. With handouts, anything that you give, people are going to look at. So make sure that it is complementing what you're saying and not distracting people, or wait till the end. The readings have been written by communication professionals. They talk for a living, they communicate for a living, get paid very well, and this is them telling you their secrets, so make sure you read up on this. A couple of things that I want you to think about in the Bowden book was how to work your audience. So I loved how they were talking there about seeing their expressions. So are they interested? What are they reacting to? What are the sort of things that you need to tease out a little bit more? Look at everyone. Even when someone's not looking at you or looking away, there's no reason that you can't start to try and engage them. If it's not working, that's fine. Other people in the audience are going to get a good laugh out of it, especially if you're trying to talk to someone and they're not looking at you. The other thing is use the STAR technique of eye contact. So out to the audience, and so they're able to see you and see you looking at them and they're engaged. Read up on effective PowerPoint slides. And I've left a jobs article in the reading list as well there. And the way in which he uses his slides. Look there. Very, very little information. And he's using the power of his words and the power of imagery to get his message across. The Bly. The big thing that I loved about the Robert Bly was this idea of the 3 steps of the presentation. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you've told them. Repeat, making the message really clear. And this is going to be important in your presentations because you need to explain the question. Tell me what you're going to cover in the topic today. Scope that out for me. And it's a big thing that a lot of people do wrongly. If you create scope and say, this is what we're going to talk about today, this and only this, not that, this is what it is, then we're going to be focused. We know what the message is going to be. You then tell us and then repeat the main points. Not too many, 3 to 5 is enough. A couple of tips for effective presentations from Bly there is arriving early, and this is incredibly important. You're going to be in the same room week by week by week, so don't leave it till the day to check the technology app. Don't leave it to the day to plug in your laptop. Do it the week before, 2 weeks before. See what the room's like. Set up the room specifically for you and how you want to present. Is it going to be groups of tables? Is it going to be all in one row? Are you going to be all in one circle? Make that decision as a team for what's best for your message. Check your technology, check your appearance. If you're a group of 4, you want to make sure that you're all kind of wearing the same sort of things. So if you're all going for a suit, all wear a suit. If you're all going to go for casual, all go for casual. You don't want to be a good mix of the two. Finally, can you see your notes? If you're going to be reading off note cards, making sure they're not too big. Last thing you want is an A4 piece of paper that completely covers your face. The other thing is that if you're going to be reading off the slides, making sure you've got the laptop in front of you, out of your face, out of your eye line, so you're able to look down, go, yep, and there where I am. So you're not looking over your shoulder the entire time when you're trying to talk about the slides. Really suggest having a look at the videos that I've added on Moodle to take a look at some presentation secrets. I'm looking forward to seeing your assignment 3.